I was going to rip his heart out. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me.
I got a question. You got any excuses tonight, Roy? Let's not ask questions like that. Let's test what's going to work. Tonight, Roy. Let's go to work.
Ever give me a fair shake? HBO needs to fire you. You don't know shit about boxing.
I wish I was 50 years younger and I'd kick your ass.
You won't do shit. You won't do nothing.
You know we've been fighting 400 and still fighting to this day. To this day.
So boxing fans, King of the Ring TV here. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Man, what a crazy week. Crazy fight week, man. Nothing but good fights put on. Fights that we need to see, because it's been a long time where boxing was froze for a minute due to the pandemic and everything like that. But now we starting to pick up on the fights and everything like that. So, we got Triller and DAZN. They showed some fights this weekend. So, on Saturday and everything like that. But they put on some good performances. But this week, I'd say probably a lot of disappointments on the fights that stuck out to me. We'll cover those. But let's get into it. Demetrius Andrade versus Liam Williams. Demetrius Andrade was supposed to look spectacular against Liam Williams. He pulled off the win, but the things that I saw in there, man, is it wasn't good, man. Especially if you want to box Charlo, because I feel like Jamal Charlo will take advantage of stuff like that. But it will definitely be an ugly fight. So if those two were to fight, but anyways, when Demetrius Andrade came in to the Liam Williams fight, I guess the talk and everything like that was starting to irritate Demetrius Andrade. So Liam Williams was really into his head. So it showed in the ring. So, and then due to that, leading up to the fight, Demetrius Andrade was frustrated. He wasn't playing no games. He wore a hat to the ring, said war and everything like that. So, from what I saw, Demetrius came in there into the ring. They started as soon as the bell opened up. They hit the bell. Demetrius Andrade was on Liam Williams, and Liam Williams' game plan played out, you know what I'm saying? Even though he, didn't look so good in that fight, it played out in the end. So Demetrius Andrade ended up starting off like real strong, trying to knock out Liam Williams, and Liam Williams wasn't going nowhere. He dropped him a couple of times and everything like that, but Liam Williams was in there to stay. Demetrius Andrade ended up punching himself out. From what it looked like, he was exhausted close to the end of the round, trying to, get Liam Williams out of there early. He wasn't doing what his corner said, so he looked pretty bad in that fight. Not like, too good. So, but of course, Demetrius Andrade, he did, pop Liam Williams with a 1-2, dropped him, hit him with multiple uppercuts, was just popping him every single where. But the thing is, Liam Williams was taking him on the chin and getting back up and kept coming and putting the pressure on him. So, I guess that's why his name is the machine, you know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, showing that you the tougher fighter. Sometimes at work, staying in there and absorbing all those shots and everything like that, letting the fighter punch himself out. That worked with Muhammad Ali, but unfortunately, Muhammad Ali and Liam Williams is two totally different fighters. So for example, when Muhammad Ali fought against George Foreman was supposed to beat Ali, but from what everybody thought. But Ali let George Foreman punch himself out, and Ali ended up, beating him and beating George Foreman, big George Foreman. So, but in this case, no, it didn't work. It worked. The mind games worked. Demetrius Andre punched himself out, but he ended up coming to the end, and landing accurate shots and everything like that. Even though he was exhausted, he was landing accurate shots and pulled off the win. But and that's another thing too. Just because you can stay in there, I think honestly what Williams was trying to do, Liam Williams, he was just trying to see who the tougher fighter is. You know what I'm saying? He was just taking Demetrius Andre's punches and trying to prove that he's a tough guy. And this is not a tough man competition. So you know what I'm saying? So he ended up losing. But it worked and then it didn't work. So Demetrius Andre ended up winning at the end of the day. But yeah, he looked pretty exhausted, man. And I feel like Jamal Charlo can take advantage of that. So if he was to get in there with a Charlo and punch himself out like that, instead of being smart and being smart and conserving his energy, because he's 33 years old, getting up in age, and it's just not smart to punch yourself out like that. So if Jamal Charlo got a hold of him, Jamal Charlo could capitalize on that, on a tired, defeated Demetrius Andre, irritated Demetrius Andre, because he'll be making mistakes and not listening to his corner and punching himself out like he did in this fight. But he good thing Liam didn't catch him and knock him down, or else or knock him down out cold, or else Liam would have won that fight. So that's the only thing I could see in that fight that was very not good about the fight. But unfortunately, the thing is, Demetrius Andre won, so that was a good thing. He pulled off the win, and he get to fight for a new day. But he can't have too many of those performances again. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyways, and then the next fight was was pretty crazy. It went to a draw or whatever, but it was the Tony Harrison versus Brian Pirelli. Brian Pirelli, he has Roy Jones in his corner training him. Roy Jones was spoke very highly of him, said that he's always the first one in the gym and the last one to leave. So that's a good that's what that's a good fighter right there, man. At the end of the day, a fighter that really wants to be the number one fighter in the world. And it definitely showed him training up under Roy Jones. It definitely showed in the Tony Harrison fight. I was going for Tony Harrison, due to him gaining the titles and giving Charlo a very hard fight. But the backstory on Tony Harrison is, him saying like he lost his father. He ended up losing his father, and and then he said something about he hates fighting southpaws and everything like that. So he hated fighting them in the amateurs, didn't fight too many of them in the pros and everything like that. So he doesn't like fighting southpaws, and that's a big problem for me. That stuck out for me because honestly, how you supposed to beat a southpaw if you can't, if you're not training and trying to turn your weakness into if you have trouble with southpaw, turn your weaknesses into strength, and fight them, and love to fight them. So if you have trouble with southpaws and you don't like fighting them, then you're not going to do too good in a fight against one, and that's what Pirelli offered, brought to the table. He was a southpaw, and he was giving Tony Harrison trouble. It looked like at times that, like, whenever they was fighting and everything like that, Tony Harrison would quit. But I did, even though I wanted Tony Harrison to win, to me, honestly, when they fought, they gave it a draw. But honestly, I think Pirelli did enough to win that fight. You know what I'm saying? Pirelli was throwing most of the shots, connecting. You know what I'm saying? And Tony Harrison, at times, a lot of times, he wasn't, doing anything. So, I felt like Pirelli won that fight, but they made it a draw, which is crazy. So that's why I said it's a lot of fights this week, man, that they showed on DAZN and Triller. That was crazy to me, but and PBC. Yeah, man, I just think, Pirelli did enough to win that fight, and Tony Harrison looked pretty bad in that fight, man. He looked very bad in that fight. But hey, it is what it is. I don't think after that performance, I was expecting Tony Harrison to be, come on top and be glorious and look, dominant. But, after that fight, him calling out Jermell for another fight, Jermell Charlo, the smaller brother, twin brother. Yeah, I don't think he should fight Jermell after that, man. Just go and give it a rest. It would be a good fight, because they both had like a hell of a fight, and do another fight to go on and, have it 3, he won 1 and then you won 1, so just come back and fight for the 3rd time just to kill that whole thing. Give him 3 and then end it, So, but, after that performance, Tony Harrison looked pretty bad in that performance. Hopefully Charlo, when his fights, Jermell Charlo and his other brother Jamal, hopefully they don't look too bad in they fights, the people who they fighting. Because Jermell, the smaller brother, he's supposed to be unifying and everything like that. So hopefully, he comes out on top, because the guy he's fighting is definitely not no pushover or whatever like that. But anyways, moving on to the next fight, was another kind of a crazy fight that was upset, because I've been watching this guy for a minute, catching some of his fights, and he ended up losing. I don't know what's the deal, if he had too much time off, or if he just was not on the same page as his trainer or whatever. But he's a young guy. He's 18 years old. He's trained with been in the gym with Tank Davis, been around Deontay Wilder and some other well-known fighters. So, he's young, up-and-coming, a prospect, and he definitely didn't look too good in this fight that he was fighting. So, and the other guy had 2 losses. So, and this guy, Vito Milnicki, he's a young up-and-coming guy, 18, like I said. And he was fighting a guy named James Martin, who has 2 losses on his record. Vito Milnicki, he's 8-0, and the other guy is I think 6-2 or something like that. His record's 6-2, so he was supposed to definitely come out on top and win that fight. So I don't know what the problem was, but in the fight, from seeing it, he just couldn't connect, couldn't land too many good shots like he want to in the fight. Milnicki was not listening to his corner. It was just a whole bunch of things that was very off. He got popped in the nose by James Martin, and Martin, was just looking too good. You know what I'm saying? For a fighter that already got 2 losses and you got only six wins, about 6 wins or so. Yeah, that he was definitely supposed to look good against that guy. It's definitely, you know, but you know, on the other side, Vito Milnicki, he's 18 years old, so you know he only got 1 loss so far. Hopefully, you know, he can, you know, do good and, you know, come back and, you know, rack up some. Hopefully that's a learning lesson and rack up some fights. You know what I'm saying? Some wins, a whole lot of wins, and never lose again. So, but unfortunately, the guy who was supposed to lose, definitely supposed to lose, unknown guy. Yeah, he ended up winning, man. And that's the consequences of not listening to your corners, man. And a lot of these fighters that I'm gonna speak about today, they definitely wasn't listening. The fighters, some of the fighters weren't listening to their corners, man. I don't know what the deal is. Like they just wasn't. They too anxious, or you know what I'm saying, too much time off. They not listening to their corners. So, but yeah, he ended up losing, and that's the result of not listening to your corner and everything like that. But he from the styles, I felt like Vito Milnicki could have beat him. I felt like he could have beat him. It was just something that wasn't right in that fight. So he let that guy come in and pop him with a hook to the nose, and once he got popped to the nose, he was just, you know, he bagged off, and it showed some effect to him. So, but yeah. Yeah, Milnicki, he definitely, man, that was an unfortunate loss, but it's the result of not listening to your corner. So, but we're gonna talk about this Triller card. We got Red Cash, Regis Progress, and Red Cash, his ass. Regis, he definitely was doing good in that fight. He definitely was doing everything he was supposed to. He was looking beautifully, boxing the hell out of Red Cash. Red Cash, he is a piece of garbage. I'm sorry to say, but he's a piece of garbage, man. He took the easy way out of that fight. Regis was just catching him with all angles. Red Cash couldn't do nothing. Looked like he was getting frustrated in that fight. From what the announcers were saying, the commentators, they were saying that him and Regis have history of sparring. So definitely you should know the fighter that you fighting, especially if you got sparring. If you got sparring history with him, so you should know your fighter. But it showed in the end. Regis was too much for him, too much power, too much good boxing abilities, skills, and everything like that. Regis was just catching him all kinds of angles and everything like that. Red Cash couldn't do anything. It looked like I thought in the fight that he was going to end up biting him, because last time he bought he took a bite out of Danny Garcia. I guess he learned his lesson from last time, because from what I was seeing, he took a bite out of Danny Garcia, and then they took his whole paycheck from his fight purse for doing that. So I guess he didn't want, even though he was getting, because Danny Garcia in that fight, when he fought Danny Garcia, Red Cash was getting frustrated with Danny Garcia because Danny Garcia was popping him all kinds of ways, and you know what I'm saying, and Red Cash couldn't do anything. So, but yeah, you know, in this fight, Regis fight, I guess that guy, man, he's a load of crap, man. He definitely he tries to find ways out of fights, you know what I'm saying? And I think fighters should stop fighting him, because he's definitely not a good fighter. He's so frustrated, and you know what I'm saying. But anyways, Regis hit him at the end of it that ended the last blow that ended all the fights. Regis hit him with a shot to the body, which didn't really fully connect. and Regis tried to say that it was a low blow to his genitals and everything like that, which it wasn't. So Red Cash tried to go down and fake like, you know, it was all that, this and that, and then, you know, you see Red Cash wife all getting emotional and telling Regis F you, and Regis like, oh, you know, Regis at first thought he hit him in the nuts, which he didn't. He hit him on the side of his stomach, but before that punch to the body that didn't really connect, when they showed the camera at Red Cash, it looked like he was actually hurt. It looked like he was hurt, and he made it to the end of the bell. So it already, I said it, I was like, because he sat down on the stool all like hurt, like, so I think he was already hurt from those body shots. So he just, I guess when that body shot hit him, he was already looking for a way out the fight. So and he played it off to the T. He was the best actor, because I guess he was embarrassed, and he knew that he couldn't do nothing against Regis. So he was just there to try to get a paycheck. That's all he was there for. And that was just a load of garbage, man. They end up awarding Regis the fight, which was, you know, good. I was going for Regis. I wasn't going for no Red Cash. But yeah, I mean, it was a good fight on Regis Progress side. He was professional. Red Cash was there to get a check, and he faked himself out of a situation. He was embarrassed. So, but, you know, that's the type of stuff that we don't need in boxing. We don't need boxers. Boxers nowadays are trying to find their way out of fights, don't want to fight, you know, fighters. Boxing is just really became a very watered down sport. Weak, a lot of weak fighters. You got a lot of strong fighters, and you got a lot of weak ducking fighters, and Red Cash is definitely one of them. So, but good job on Regis' part on looking spectacular, boxing excellent, and everything like that. Hate that it couldn't go all the way to the full, full 12 or 10 rounds. Or maybe lead to a knockout of Red Cash. But hey, it's the sport of boxing. You come across fighters that try to find the easy way out, and Red Cash was one of them. So next on the list is Jake Paul. Jake Paul versus Ben, the UFC fighter. And this wasn't no serious fight. So, you know, it's just like Jake Paul just got a lot of followers, a big follower, and you know, people want to see him get knocked out. I'm definitely one of them. I'm not gonna lie. He's a YouTuber that talks a lot of trash and stuff like that. And Ben he definitely been in the gym boxing, you know, perfecting his skills. So you can't take that away. From him. He brings a lot of attention to boxing. So, I mean, that's good. You know, he's got a big following and everything like that. But at the end of the day, he's not somebody that I too much care for. Just looking at the way he moves and everything like that, he's definitely not somebody I pay attention to like that. But, you know, hey, honestly, I just want to see him get knocked out. That's about it. That's the only reason why I watch it, because he talks a lot of trash, and I just want to see him get knocked out, honestly. But anyways, to make it short, Jake Paul came out, did the same punch, because I've been watching his couple of his fights on the fighters that he's been fighting and everything like that. He does the same thing. And a lot of the people he's fighting has zero experience in boxing. Of course, he's going to do that because he's got to build himself up. He's only got 3 wins. He's a YouTuber, so he's not looked at as a serious boxer or whatever. But he's definitely got some wins from people has zero experience in the ring. So, of course, it's going to make you look good and excellent in the ring against people like that. So, but anyways, yeah, he definitely knocked out same punch that I've been seeing from the last fights. He'll do an overhand. He's a orthodox fighter. He's not a southpaw, so he'll do an overhand, like a straight jab, and then come over the top with the right hook, and knock his opponent out. Same punch. Hopefully, somebody smart, he'll fight against that billionaire guy. I don't know his name. I gotta look him up, but hopefully he'll fight against him, because that guy fought on the undercard. He actually did pretty good. I think that would be a better matchup, because he did pretty good against his opponent. Looked like he's got some experience and everything like that. But sorry, I don't know his name right now. But anyways, yeah, Jake Paul. Hopefully them two can fight. But yeah, Jake Paul definitely, he looks good against people that don't know how to box. And it's ridiculous, man. Just finding people not off the streets. Of course, Ben Askren. He's a UFC wrestler, fighter, or whatever. He's pretty famous. But come on, man. When he was doing the pad work and everything like that, he looked awful. He had no hand skills or nothing like that. He looked horrible. It is just ridiculous. Like, you can tell. I already knew when I seen the pad work. I was like, oh man, he's about to get beat up. And Jake Paul is not a serious, like a real boxer, in my opinion. Like, he's been training and getting better, but he's not a super big time boxer. But it is what it is. But yeah, Jake Paul ended up coming out with the victory. He knocked out Ben with that shot, and Ben looked very old, out of shape, and everything like that, belly hanging out and everything like that. So I think it was definitely a letdown for UFC fighters. Not for me. I knew he was gonna lose, but about the way he was working the pads and everything like that. But it was a letdown for UFC. I guess they was expecting him to win. So hopefully that makes a lot of people more angry and wanting to fight Jake Paul. But of course, I think he has more control of his career. So it's not like somebody making him fight fighters. But because if it was like tough fighters, because if it was, then he definitely would. Yeah, he'll definitely would have had a loss already. But one day he might end up picking the wrong person and getting knocked out, and all that karma and all that, come back to him or whatever. But yeah, he ended up losing. Oh well, we'll see who he fights next. Probably pick somebody else. He might end up picking a Soldier Boy or something like that, So, but I don't know. But Jake Paul won again. Had the little robot in the fight or whatever, doing some weird stretches with the yoga and stuff like that. It just looks so weird. But it is what it is. And make sure you guys go watch it. I would say Triller, The Zone, and what is it, PVC? Yeah, if you want to catch those fights, make sure you go watch it, pay for it, or whatever. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel.